straight into our Jordan banner class. So we're going to go into Design Space, choose a new project. Now you should have already purchased your SVG file for the banner. So I'm going to show you how to bring it into Design Space. You're going over here on the left, click on Upload, go to Upload Images, Browse. Now go to wherever you saved it on your computer. So we're going to choose it, Open. It's an SVG file, so it doesn't ask you to edit anything. You can change the name if you want to whatever you want to save it. Go down to the bottom right and click Save. Select the banner, insert into Design Space. So now the pieces are all separate. So what we're going to do is ungroup right here on the right at the top, or you can right click your image and ungroup here. So this is the size. That's 6" by 4.9. This is the size that I usually cut all the time. If you want to do a mini and make it smaller, you can, or a big one. Just change the sizes to whatever you prefer. So I'm going to go up here where the line type is and just change this to gray so we can see what our banner is going to look like. This one is going to be white. And again, you can choose any color you want. You can make it any way you choose. It's even better when you change things up so that your banner can stand out from everyone else's. So this one we're going to change to white. So line type up here, white. Now you're just going to lay the pieces here just so you see what the image will look like. So this one, we're just going to turn it right here, and I would just make it just a little bit bigger so it reaches the back. You can arrange to the top right here where I'm circling down, hit send to front, and you just put that there. So you can kind of see what everything is looking like. So arrange to the front again and just line it up and turn that a little. And that's it. Highlight all of that and we're going to group it. Remember, you can go to the top right here, or you can right click on your image and hit group. So this size is exactly what I choose. I usually slant it a little like this. So now on each one, we'll just group these two together. Highlight it all, right click, group. Now whatever banner I'm making, I'll do a duplicate of this and a duplicate of this, because these are going to be on the two ends. And then whatever word you're going to write out in the middle, for this I'm just going to do he, so it doesn't take us forever to do a full happy birthday. So I'm going to do that and make it real simple, just 2 letters, and put it together. So we'll go to text. Now here's the thing with text. You can go in right over here to filter. Wait, let me go back because I don't know if everyone would know. When you text and you want to change the font, it's right up here on the left. Hit the drop down. Go to filter right here and choose multi-layer, and it'll bring up all of the multi-layer fonts that's available in here. So I'm going to type in here Cricut, and I use the Cricut Classic. Let's make it a little big. Now on the right side here, you see the little eye hidden. That's the second layer. So when you hit that, there you go. We're just going to change the color. On the right here, click on it, go over to line type, hit the color, just change that to black. Now the top layer we change to red. And remember, you're putting, if you decide to like change your mind last minute, just switch out the cardstock on the mat. That's it. So you're going to size them to fit directly. So you see that? When they cut, they'll fit. And that's how you design your banner. So if you want something longer, you type it in. But once you do that, hit ungroup on the letters and then ungroup each layer. See that? I always do that before I send it to the mat because it'll arrange on the mat for me. If I use a word, let's type in something. I'll type my name. We'll make it really long, the size we need. And so let's say we did that and you did not ungroup it like I showed you. I'm gonna send it to the mat and look, it lines it up and it'll fit. You'll need a long mat for that if you don't ungroup them. So now let's say we ungroup these and I'll show you what it'll give me. So I'm going to ungroup both layers and then send to the mat. And now you see, look, it's all organized on one sheet. So you want to always ungroup before you send to the mat, just to make sure it fits on your sheet. So I'm going to take that out. That was just an example for you to see why I told you to ungroup it. So now that you have all of your colors, all of your layers, the next important step is to save your project. Whatever you want to save it to, perfectly fine. I just typed in some numbers and save. Now you're going to choose the correct machine that you're using. I'm using the Maker today. Go to Make, and you see everything is chosen for you. So when you line up your cardstock on the page, just line it up and feed it right into that machine, each layer. Now, if you only have the 8.5 by 11 is what I usually have with gray, just go to material size, change it to 8.5 and 11, and it'll fit each one. So now you just need to load it in a few times. So make sure you select the correct size paper you have. If you have all 12 by 12, then you're good to go. Press continue. And what you will choose, hold on guys, because I want you guys to see the option. I don't know what's happening today with Design Space, but I'm gonna go back to the canvas. Yes, I want to cancel. Good, so I'm back on my canvas. I'm going to close it out completely and go back in, quit, go back into Design Space. And this is why saving is important. If something happened, see I have it saved here. Click on Make It. Let's expand this so you see it all. Press continue. And let's see if we'll have the same problem. So I linked it by Bluetooth today for the first time from my computer. So I'm assuming, because it's been doing this for every class. Well, you guys will see what happens when a little mishap happens. I'm not gonna stop, I'm just gonna make sure you see. So I'll just go back to Bluetooth. I turned off and turned back on the machine. I'll wait for it. See, it came up here. So just everything is doing its own thing today. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop, reconnect the machine and come back because I want to show you the exact cutting preferences. Link. So if you ever have that problem, guys, turn off your machine, turn it back on, go back to Bluetooth and link it again. Or you could just plug it in, but I don't know where I put my cord. So I just wanted you to see you're not the only one that have these problems, and don't frustrate yourself. Just, work on getting it fixed and jump right back into your project. So here, the heavy watercolor paper is what I usually choose when I'm cutting the 65-pound cardstock. And if I'm using 110-pound cardstock, I use the glitter cardstock setting. So here you have all of your layers. Let me just open this up so you can see it all. We have all of our layers here. And with the gray, I usually use the 8.5 by 11. So you can go over here to edit. No, not edit, guys. Hold on. That is the mirror. I just realized I sent it to cut before changing. Now here. So before you send it, the material size is 12 by 12. Change it to 8.5 by 11, and it'll put all of your images. Only one can fit, which I think I can fit more than one. So I'll show you what you can do if the Cricut kind of sorts it out and makes you use too much paper. Click on one, hit the image, those three little buttons at the top there, choose that, go to move object, choose the mat you would like to move it to, and confirm. So I have two of them here, and I think it can fit if I turn it this way. Just like when you're on, see? Now I can use less paper. So we still have two more here. We'll click on another mat, choose that option, move the object to this page right here. So both of them are there, and turn it to fit. So now I can use two sheets of 8.5 by 11 cardstock instead of 4. See that? There we go. And then when you send to Matt, the two blank pages that you did not use will disappear. So we'll press continue. And here we go again. But I already explained everything. So cut all of your layers. Remember to line up your paper, add it in, and choose whichever one you choose. You don't have to choose what I choose. I literally do by default, and I don't like to keep coming in and change it. So when I have multiple like this, and usually my white is 110 pounds and my other colors are 65 pounds, I set it from the beginning to glitter cardstock, and I leave that setting on all of my cardstock. Here we go. I leave that setting on all of my cardstock instead of coming in and changing it each time. So glitter cardstock, send everything to Matt, and now we're going to go over to assemble our banner. Okay, so now that we have our pieces cut, we're going to assemble the shoe first, the letters, then the banner pieces, and then put everything together. So you're going to use your glue pen. We're going to start with the black side. You're going to flip it over. You're going to get all of the edges so they stay down. Then I'm going to slide it, excuse me, off of the table, flip it over, then just line it up first before you press down to where it's going to go. But the glue doesn't dry right away, so you have time to kind of slide it in place if you notice that it's not. Same with the red. And just press that down. And that's it. Repeat it for the other side. So with the banner, as you know, these are going to be at the end. And it's solely up to you how you want to design the banner. If you want to put 2 on the end, in the middle of a word, solely up to you. I always put 2 on the end. Well, 2, 1 per end. Move this one up too much. Why are you running? There we go. Oh, I think I messed up this one, this shape. All right, so in this case, it's, there we go. And also, you can cut it on whichever color cardstock you choose and do different styles of these sneakers. That back one a little bit. All right. So our sneakers are done. We're gonna put them to the side. And now work on our letters. So before you glue anything, just line them up a little first so you know. And I wouldn't recommend using a glue gun unless you're like really experienced with the glue gun, because it dries so fast, it doesn't allow you that time to move it around. If I do use a glue gun, I will glue one side down and then move on to the other. Oh, see what I'm doing, guys? I'm not paying attention. Flip it. Now this side I haven't laid down yet until I line up the first side. Then move over and to the other side. Now we have the E. Repeating the same process. Down whichever way you put it. Now the banner. Okay. So with the banner first, I line up to make sure I have it in the middle. Now you can use your glue gun or your glue pen, solely up to you. When I use the glue gun, I line it up. I use my left hand to press on one side to hold it still so that it stays in place. Raise up, put the glue on, then press it down. It's in place. Then I can just flip this side over, put it on this side. So I always flip it. So I can just lay it here and press it down.
And that way, it's straight and matches up. So repeat that for as many as you need, because I've also had someone order happy birthday with the name, and after each one I had a sneaker on the end. So it's happy with 2 sneakers on the end, birthday, another 2 sneakers on the end. And with these banners, you charge a set price for maybe a certain amount. Like start at maybe $15, $20 for like 6 or 7. And then as you go up, like 8 to 12, you charge an extra $5, $10, whichever you choose. And do that, keep going up, because you can't choose a base price when you're allowing them to be customized. But if you're just going to offer happy birthday, then you could do a set price. And offering happy birthday is a good thing because you can have them pre-cut and waiting for an order. If you're doing something as long as happy birthday, I would definitely recommend do not go nowhere below $35. And if they want to add their name, you add an extra 10. So just had to get a glue stick. We're running out. And those are our 4. Now for the letters, I never glue them flat. I always use foam circles. Now the Dollar Tree sells foam circles. And also Michael's sell these. So these are $1. These are about $3. And they have a smaller circle size. I purchased these because everyone has been telling me about them, and I'm not going to lie, I'm not fond of them. So I'll show you. I don't know if I'll have the same problem, but I like to move with ease, and sometimes these aren't cut straight through, and that kind of stresses me out. So sometimes they're kind of stuck together. See, and you have to pull it apart. Sometimes I get some that don't even pull apart. And with the other one, I've never had an issue. So I'm going to use out the ones that I have and go back to my Michael circles. But it's definitely up to you. Not because I don't like it, mean you won't like it. See, these are smooth, they just come out. So this is the bigger size, and they have a smaller circle size, and they have some square sizes as well. So when I run out of the small size, what I do, I take this and I cut it in half, but leave both pieces on a little covering so that it's not sticky and really sticking to your scissors. But remember, they have a smaller size. I just ran out, but I definitely prefer this one. Then you center it. And repeat the process. Now this is something that you don't see, so a lot of people don't mind that the Dollar Tree one doesn't really pop off and give a little bit of a headache to get off sometimes, because it's not something the customers actually see, and it's just holding up. But honestly, I really don't like them, and it can be because I've been using these for so many years, I'm just used to them. And when I get used to a product, you can't tell me nothing about another one. So the H, we're going to center. Also, if you want to punch your holes before you add everything, that's perfectly fine. I'm not sure why I usually do it after, but I always end up doing it after. No specific reason, so that's definitely up to you when you would like to do that. Also, your choice of ribbon, definitely up to you. I think I just randomly chose which one I want, so it's not mandatory that you have a specific ribbon. That's the best part of crafting. You can make everything your own, and you want to make it your own because now you don't want everyone selling the same thing. Change it up, dress it up, and make it your own so your product stands out. This is the ribbon that I use. I purchased from Michael's. And it's the 3/8. And there's two ways to string your ribbon, and I'll show you both. So we have two types of hole punchers. You can just go buy an individual one. I don't even remember. I probably had this thing for 10 years. Always have a spare, if this is your first time, a spare piece of cardstock so you can see yourself what size that hole looks like. And then there's also this, which is a multi-punch. And if you're not sure, I believe I use either 3/8, yeah, I think it's 3/8, or you can use 1/4. But I would just get that cardstock, punch each hole, you just turn it. Just to decide what size I would prefer. And if you're still not sure by looking at it, get the ribbon and just push it through and see which one you prefer. See how that just popped up on me? So you take your ribbon and put it through here. That, for me, that's too much space. It looks too big. I think this one, for me, is good enough. So that was this one, 1/4. So you can slide it, and this is why you should be, if you're using this especially, punch them before, because depending on your, sorry, let me get that into view. See that? I'm not even seeing. Definitely, guys. All right, for using the multi-punch, don't be me, because I do this all the time and end up peeling up the back just to get my punch in there. I think I did it from the top. And you try to eyeball where they are. If you're using the individual, it's a little easier with your design still on. So I'm doing this. I would tell you that I usually do it a little higher, but because this one got a little lower, I'll try to match all of them to the same place. What you can also do sometimes, I line them up like that, and then punch the hole through. And that way I'm guaranteed they're at the same level. Now, when you have nothing on there, you can do it with ease. So if you're trying to, you know, create your products with less stress through those holes before you add it on. Sometimes I don't take my advice because I say every time I'm going to do it first, and then I never do. Just a creature of habit. Oh, my little baby, look at that, came off. I'm gonna add more glue. And make sure it's on the white part to push it up. So make sure it has something to stick to. There we go. Flip it over. Get our foam circles. I just try to get a few on there to the edges. You don't want them like directly on the edge. Only I feel like you don't need to necessarily see it unless it's a small design and you can't hide it. And I'm talking about seeing it from the front, not the sides, because you will see it from the sides. All right, so we have all of our pieces done. I love when it's covered too. See, you can't see it. Love that. You can take your string and literally string it through. Start by going in, not by coming up like this. If you do this, you see the ribbon, unless you want to show the ribbon. I prefer going in and keeping the ribbon at the back, so it doesn't take away from my design. Just make sure it's towards the back. And that's one way to string it straight through. The other way I was telling you about, we're going to do, and it saves ribbon. So I came up with this way because I was low on ribbon and didn't want to run to the store. So you're going to take the two that's going together, just for measurement's sake. We're going to flip them over, take it, push it through, bring it up, and then just measure how many you need for it to come together. So you're going to overlap a little. Let me bring it closer to the camera. So you don't want it to stop right on the edge. You want it to overlap so you have some space to glue it on. You're going to cut that off. Now you're going to take this off and just keep measuring how many you need for each one. That way you don't have to keep doing that over and over. So you cut all the pieces. Flip it over, take the glue gun and glue that together. Do that, and then the two ends, you just need a long piece for your customer to hang. Like that, and then you would put glue right here and press it against here. So that's your other option, and it'll save you money on ribbon. And that is our sneaker banner. Let me finish stringing it up here. And when you're done, you're gonna cut that off. Get a lighter and just burn the tip so that it doesn't fray. I try to leave, I don't measure out a certain amount, just a good length on the ends for them to hang wherever they need. So that will be the process for the banner. And you are done.